going on, Crusaders? It's Captain JP, aka CTC, aka Catholic Kuya. I'm going by a couple of names at this point, hopefully y'all don't mind. Today I'm going to be telling you how to choose your confirmation saint. Now before I begin, I do want you to go ahead and watch the previous video on my account, the story of how I chose my confirmation saint. Hearing my story, knowing what I did and what I went through, as well as hearing the tips in today's video, I think it'll better your understanding of the sacrament and how to choose the right saint for you. Because today I don't just want you to choose just any confirmation saint. I want you to choose the absolute best confirmation saint. And to better understand what do I mean by the best confirmation saint for you, once again, please go ahead and watch the previous video. I believe that's all we need to go over. As usual, or I always say that I try to speak from the heart, but lately I've been following a mental script. But for this video, I'm gonna just try to let the words flow. I really hope that I can do so in a structured way, but I'm just gonna let the words flow, and I really hope that y'all can learn from this. Whether you're already confirmed years ago, you're gonna get confirmed in 6 months, or 10 years from now, I hope that when you watch this video as well as the other video, you'll better your understanding of confirmation saints. The point is, y'all, I want you to watch today's video and the previous video. I want you to know my story. I want you to know these tips. I want you to choose the absolute best saint for you during your confirmation journey. And if you're already confirmed, I hope that in some way, something that I say is going to deepen your understanding of confirmation saints and somehow deepen your relationship between you and your saint. Alright, y'all, so hopefully I'm in the middle of the frame. What you must first understand is that all of our journeys are going to be different, and as much as I would love to help all of y'all on y'all's journey, and I would love for y'all to apply what I say, my information, my tips cannot apply to every single one of y'all. All I can really ask is that y'all at least try. This is just recommendations. I do think that my information is valid and can help all of y'all. But I do want y'all to listen to y'all's hearts, and that's going to come up a lot. So if what I say contradicts what you're saying inside in your soul and in your heart, then disregard it. But all I really ask is that y'all at least listen and at least consider what I have to say. Mind y'all that, again, just listen inwardly. This is y'all's journeys. And ultimately, if y'all do listen to what y'all are saying on the inside, then you're not truly going against what I'm saying, because that's a big part of what I'm trying to teach y'all today. Is to listen to y'all's hearts. But let's just get to that. So once again, during our confirmation journeys, it's all going to be different, and one of the factors that may differ from person to person is time allowance. Now personally for me, I did not start my research until 2 to 3 months prior to my set confirmation date. I would honestly recommend y'all to do the same. Obviously, I do not want y'all to start at the very last minute, but I also don't want y'all to start too early, and that's gonna make more sense as we go through the video, and then we're gonna circle back to that. So once again, I would recommend y'all to start about just 2 to 3 months prior to your set confirmation date. Again, this is not gonna apply to everyone, especially because certain churches, y'all may require y'all to have y'all's saint locked in a lot sooner than what mine did, so just keep that in mind, y'all. But let's get into the 3 methods of choosing your confirmation saint. Method number 1, choosing your confirmation saint based on what they're the patron saint of. Method number 2, choosing your confirmation saint based on shared characteristics currently today. Method number 3, choosing your confirmation saint based on how you want to become later in life. You want to share these characteristics, skills later in life. Whenever you're looking for a confirmation saint, this is supposed to be your lifetime guide. You want to find a confirmation saint that truly speaks to you. You look at the saint, you look at their story, you pray, and you try to find a connection between you and the saint to assist you in your life and in your journey. Whenever you go to pray, whenever you go to church, whenever you are in a time of need, this is going to be one of those individuals that you're going to turn to. Alright, y'all, so now we'll be going over the 3 methods that I told y'all before of how to choose your confirmation saint, which, by the way, I might be saying confirmation saint or I might be saying CS, because it's easier. I'll be using them interchangeably. At first, I'm just going to tell y'all how to use them, and then we're going to go over the details. Method number 1, choosing your CS based on what they're the patron saint of. This is possibly the easiest method and the most favorite that I've seen people use. You're going to look at a saint and you're going to try to find what they're the patron saint of and how does that relate to you. For example, if you're a musician, you might want to choose Saint Cecilia, patron of musicians. Method number 2, choosing your CS based on shared characteristics now currently. It sounds very similar to the first method, but it is going to be on a much deeper level. And instead of just looking at what they're the patron of, you're going to look deeper into their stories, which I do want to say with all these methods, no matter what you do, you are going to need to look deeper into their stories, but we're going to come back to that later, but just keep that in mind. So let's say you are a very courageous person now, currently. You might want to look into patrons of courage, but again, not just patrons of courage, but again, look deeper into their stories. You might want to choose either Saint Sebastian, patron of courage, as well as other things, or perhaps Saint George. But again, you want to look deeper into their stories and understand what exactly made them courageous. More I can say, let's carry on. Method number 3, choosing your CS based on characteristics or what you wish to become later in life. It's almost the reverse of method number 2. You might see yourself as very uncourageous, but you might want to be courageous in the future. Once again, you might want to look towards patrons of courage. To be more clear, once again, you're not a courageous person, but you wish to be courageous in the future. You might want to look towards patrons of courage so that in your time of need, you can ask and pray that the same graces that were applied to this saint in their life be applied to you. Alright y'all, so I believe that I did my best at explaining the 3 methods. Let's go over them one more time and discuss the pros and cons of each one. Now this section might be kind of long, but I do want to give y'all the best understanding, at least my view of it. Method number 1, choosing your CS based on what are the patron saint of. Once again, I believe this is the easiest, most common, and favorite method that I've seen used by a majority of our Catholic youth. However, I would not recommend using this method because most people misuse the method. Let me explain. You need to sit down, you need to hop on the computer, you need to do your research, you need to find a saint. Okay, this saint looks good. You need to look at every single detail of the story. You need to embrace the story, you need to understand the story, you need to understand what makes this saint a saint. Every single detail, where they were born, when they were born, where they die, when did they die, how did they live their life. Were they born into poverty or into wealth? Did they give up their wealth? Did they become hermits? What did they become, y'all? Were they priests? How did they live their life? How does that speak to you? You need to understand who these saints are, what makes them saints, and how does that speak to you? How does that relate to you? How does that connect to you? And we're going to go over that more in each method, but let's stay to method number 1 again. Patron saint method. How is what they're the patron saint of connect with you? And again, I do not recommend using this method because people look on a surface level. We must look on a deeper level. If done correctly, there's nothing wrong with this. And again, this is your journey. What I might say surface level might mean volumes to you. However, again, I just really implore y'all to look deeper, look on a deeper level. Again, if you are to use this method, try to do your best. Or not even try to do your best. It isn't just me. Like, this is what you're supposed to do. Look deeply on their level. Feel a connection. But the point is, y'all, I just don't recommend this method because, let me give you an example. Saint Cecilia, patron saint of music and musicians. This is a favorite saint by many Catholic musicians. And again, done correctly, there's nothing wrong with it. But I've noticed in so many stories, people look only on a surface level. Oh, I am a musician. Let me choose Saint Cecilia. Try to find a deeper connection. Look at who is Saint Cecilia and does she truly speak to you? Look at other parts of yourself. Try to see, is being a musician the greatest thing for me? Or what about my courage or whatever else in your life? Try to look at those things. To finish up method number 1, and please apply everything that I say in method number 1 to method number 2 and method number 3 and this entire video and your overall confirmation journey. Because what I have to say in this section is very important to be applied to everything, and also I might forget to repeat myself and it might get really, it might be too much to repeat it every single time. So just remember all of my tips and apply it however you can. I want you to choose the absolute best saint. And what does that mean? The best saint for you is a saint that you can carry with you your entire life, that you can turn to in your time of need. Lord, give me the same courage, the same graces that you gave to this saint. You want to have this saint for your whole life. This saint can help you your whole life, can apply to you, connect with you your whole life. You cheat yourself out of the best relationship that you could have, of the connections that you can have with your saint, and you're gonna want to grow more and more in your life and grow with your saint. That's what you want. So So you cheat yourself off of the potential that you could have, as well as you leave yourself vulnerable to the potential of losing your connection to your saint. Especially, again, if you make a baseline surface level connection, if you only connect with them on one element, one level, you cheat yourself of, again, all of the things that you can connect with. You make yourself vulnerable to lose that connection. If you choose your CS off of one element, and only that element, and especially if that element is something that can be broken. For example, Saint Cecilia, patron of musicians. Right now in this moment, you may think and feel so connected with music and being a musician, but if you choose something as fragile as being a musician, what if you are no longer a musician? Let's say you lose your passion for music. You break that connection, that singular connection that you had with Saint Cecilia. So hopefully I made my point. What I'm trying to say, y'all, long story short, I would not recommend this method. If you already use this method, use it properly. Dig deep into their stories. Find multiple connections. Really feel a connection with this saint. And beware to choose a connection that can be fragile. Because if you were to break that connection, you can still have a connection to that saint in some way. But there's a very large spiritual disconnect that can happen. Make these deep connections and connections that will be hard to break. We only have one confirmation, y'all. Let's not mess it up. So let's carry on. If there's anything else that I forget, I'll try to put text on screen for y'all, or I'll come back later and refilm it, okay? Let's move on to method number 2. Alright, so let's move on to method number 2, choosing your CS based on shared characteristics now, today. I know I said a lot for method number 1, but I honestly don't have much to say for method number 2 or method number 3, mostly because everything that I had to say, all the logic, was already said in method number 1. Once again, as I keep on saying, apply what I said in 1 to 2 and 3 and your whole journey, okay? Because I don't want to have to keep on repeating myself and the video's going to get too long. So everything that I said in that one, apply to these ones. All I really have to say is that I would put this method above the previous one. Let's go deeper into how to use this method correctly, so to speak. So even with this method, you can do it incorrectly where you just look at a surface level. As I keep on saying, you must dig deeper into these stories. And let's talk about a different component about our journeys, comparing and choosing saints. If you are a courageous person, you're going to look into courageous saints. Let's say you narrowed it down between Saint Sebastian and Saint George. Now, which one do you choose? Okay, eeny, meeny, miny, no. They're both courageous saints. Let's look deeper into their stories. Which one speaks to you more? So Saint George, courageous saint, there's not really much about his story. He fought some dragons, some other monsters, just a bunch of legends. Great saint, y'all. If you choose him, good on you. But let's look at Saint Sebastian though, and let's see if we have a deeper connection. Let me just use me for example, okay? Saint Sebastian, patron saint of courage, martyrs, soldiers. Maybe those extra patron categories might speak to you and already put Sebastian above George. I don't know, y'all, but let's keep on going. I'm not going to go over his whole story, but just know that Saint Sebastian was a courageous and faithful man who loved the Lord and told everyone of the good news. And even when people told him to stop, he kept on going. He kept on talking. He kept on telling about the Lord. And all that talking earned him a one-way ticket to death. But even faced with death, a choice between life and giving up his faith, and death and holding strong to his faith, he had the courage to keep on going. He chose to be a martyr for a faith, to die for his faith. So, wow, y'all, isn't that an amazing story? So, doesn't that story really speak to you? Hypothetically, I'm truly asking you, like, I want you to think, if you were looking at Saint Sebastian, does that story really speak to you on a deep level? That's what you need to ask yourself. Me personally, patron of courage, yes. Patron of martyrs, the courage, the strength to give your life to the Lord, that does speak to me. And again, you want to remember, this is supposed to be your guide. This is supposed to be the saint that throughout your life, I pray, Lord, the courage and strength and graces you gave to Saint Sebastian, give it to me today Or Lord, I'm so happy that, like Saint Sebastian, you made me strong to have courage in you. That is what you need to be thinking. You need to be thinking that way. You need to think, all right, this is the saint that every single day I'm going to pray, I'm going to give thanks that I am courageous, like Saint Sebastian. Or let's say, or this kind of goes against it, but we all fall sometimes. In your time of need, give me the courage. But I think I made my point. Let's carry on. As I keep on saying, dig deep into these stories, find a connection. I guess I did actually have a lot to say about method number 2. Let's carry on. Method number 3. Choosing your CS based on how you want to become in the future. You are not a courageous person, but you want to be more courageous in the future. You're going to look into courageous saints. Not just skills or characteristics, but even occupations and what you are, or I guess what you want to become. Let's say you want to become a doctor, you want to work in medicine, you want to heal people. You might want to look into patrons of medicine, healing, doctors, as well as saints who were doctors. You might want to look at the angle of a faithful man who is also a doctor. And oh, that's what I want to become. I want to be a doctor who holds his faith. Let me look into the saint. How did he live his life? Healing people physically, but also spiritually. Ooh, that's a bar, y'all. I'll finish with this. Once again, look inwardly, look at your heart, look at your soul. Find what is lacking. What do you wish to become? What do you wish to gain in your life and in your faith? How does their story relate to you and what you wish to become? And again, this is your guide for life. Whenever you are in your time of need, whenever you are lacking something, whenever you need strength, Lord, give me the strength, the same strength bestowed to this saint, and give it to me so that I may succeed, so that I may become greater for you. Or, I'm so sorry, y'all, I don't know why I'm so scared. Oh Lord, give me the strength. Saint Sebastian, intercede on my behalf to give my prayers to the Lord. Yeah. Alright, y'all, so I know that this video is already long enough as it is, though if you're trying to learn, hopefully that doesn't matter to y'all. We just have a little bit more to go over and then we'll end it. I do want to quickly go over which one would I recommend because that wasn't really clear. I would recommend any method that works best for you and your journey. Again, listen to your heart, y'all. Listen to your heart. That is what I recommend. That is the method that I recommend. Not 1, not 2, not 3. I recommend you to listen to the heart method. Listen to your soul. Listen to your heart. Feel the connection. And I think the best way to really explain that is to tell y'all my story. Once again, watch the story where I go full in depth about what I went through. But I'll give you a brief run through of my story in this video. But once again, I want y'all to hear the whole story. So what I did during my journey, and I do have some last minute tips for y'all, but I'm gonna leave that for the very end of the video after I tell y'all my story. Try to keep in mind the details in this story because it's gonna make it easier to tell y'all the tips. Every single day, I sat down, I hopped on the computer. I never really used the patron method. I only used it as an icebreaker, a starting point to my research. That's what I recommend. That's what I did. I don't recommend the patron method, but if it works for you, whatever works best for you, use it. However, I recommend use it only as a starting point to get your brain going, to figure out who you are, to figure out what direction that you want to go. But I looked up patrons of courage, and back then I did not really see myself as courageous. There's more I can say. Text up on screen for y'all. But I didn't really see myself as a courageous person, so I was looking at, method number 3, what is something that I lack and what do I wish to become? So I looked at George, Saint Sebastian, and none of them really connected with me. I did have the slightest connection to Saint Sebastian because I did feel kind of good about it. I felt like, oh, great faithful man with courage. And how he gave his life to the Lord, that's what I want. I want to have that much fire for the Lord. But I kept on going. So I took Saint Sebastian, put it right here, and I kept on researching. Eventually, I switched gears and I turned to method number 2, and I was looking for patrons of joy or patrons of happiness. I don't fully remember. I went through a couple of saints, but eventually I came upon Saint Philip Neri, the saint that I ended up choosing. Let's go a little bit into who Saint Philip Neri was. Saint Philip Neri, patron of joy, happiness, laughter, humor, joy, as well as the patron saint of Rome and armed forces. Keep that in mind. So instantly, y'all, whenever I came upon Saint Philip Neri, instantly I felt a connection. I really can't describe it, y'all, but instantly I felt something. But I kept on going. I kept on researching. I mean, obviously it would be really not smart to go off the initial connection, but I kept on looking at his story, and y'all, Saint Philip Neri was a very faithful man. He was a priest. And in fact, he loved God so much he gave his entire life to God, to the point that on his very last day, he spent the whole day. And I think from what I read, I think he knew that his end was incoming. But he spent the entire day taking confessions from everybody before finally passing on from this world. And that in itself, that's so beautiful, y'all. But what I'll say is that his story really spoke to me. Back then and still now, I saw myself as a very happy individual, And what spoke to me is that he was a happy and faithful man. There is an image that people have of us Catholics that to be Catholic, to be religious, to be faithful, we always have to have our hands like this and head like this, and we can't smile, we can't laugh, we can't live our life. But Saint Philip Neri, he showed people that you can still love God with all your heart, but you can still live your life, you can still laugh, you can still be happy, you can still be outwardly happy, you can still joke, you can still do all of that, you can still have fun and be happy in life. In fact, he was even known to pull like some pranks on people. And y'all, if y'all know me, y'all know I'm a prankster, I'm a joker, I'm a messer. I love messing with people all out of good fun. Like that's one of the ways that I show my love. I love messing with people. I love pranking people. So that's another thing, that detail in and of itself that spoke to me. But also just the overall thing, I'm sorry for I'm sorry, y'all. This is he showed people that you can love God with all your heart and still have fun, and that spoke to me. That lesson really spoke to me, and that was me. That's what I wanted to become, as well as that is what I wanted to teach myself. And as we should all know, we should all strive to be saints, and that is what I want to show people if I do get to be a canonized saint one day. Which, imagine that. That is what I want to be known for. That is what I want to teach people with my story, with my life. I want people to know, that I was a joker, that I was always smiling, that I love to laugh, I love to make other people laugh. But I was a faithful man, So, long story short, and I'm so sorry, I'm kind of messing up the story because I kind of snapped out of it. But the point is, y'all, I felt an initial connection. I felt baseline connections, like we could have just stopped there. But I felt this deep connection with him, and that's what I want y'all to do. That's what I want y'all to feel. I want y'all to be me right now. Whenever I talk about my story, whenever I talk about my saint, that I am out of breath, that I am physically up in arms. Whenever you talk about your saint, whenever you think about your saint, I want you to feel this way. But to finish up my story, y'all, back then, when I was doing my research and when I was getting confirmed, that was the best saint for me. I'm so sorry, y'all. There's so much more I want to say about that. I'm not joking, y'all. Whenever I talk about my saint, I feel so something. I don't know. But let's carry on, y'all. But again, I could keep on going because his story just speaks so much to me. Who he was really speaks to me and what I want to become. But let's carry on. Whenever I was getting confirmed, that was the best saint for me. A humorous, joyous, happy saint who loved God with all his heart, who showed people to be happy and to love God at the same time. Which, side note, that is my ministry. My ministry is to show people to love God, but also live their life because that is what God would want. But again, we're getting off topic. When I chose him as my saint, he was the best saint for me. But that was about 5 years ago. But as I've grown and as I've changed, he is still the right saint for me. And that's what I want. Whenever you choose your saint, it is the right saint for you. And as you grow and as you change, it is still the right saint for you. Now, of course, as we grow and as we change, we might lose connection. We might weaken connection. And that's okay. But that's why we must have a deep connection with them. However, this is what I mean. I want you to choose the absolute best saint for you. Now, this might not be possible with everyone's journeys, but I want you to at least try. Choose the best saint for you in the moment. And as you grow and as you change, it is still the best saint for you in the moment. But not just that, but as you grow and as you change, not only does it still apply to you, it applies to you more. In 2022, about 2 years after I was confirmed, what I'll tell you is that my whole life, my parents and a lot of people, they wanted me to join the military. But that was truly not for me. That was not me. That was not who I was. Not what I wanted. That was not what I wanted to become. However, in 2022, I had a change of heart, change of mind. I can't really say too much, but just know that 2022, I wanted to join the military. I want to become a soldier. I want to do all kinds of stuff. Again, that's a story for another day. Patron of joy, humor, laughter, happiness, and armed forces. So I didn't really think of the armed forces back in the day. But 2 years later, now I want to join the military. And still today, I mean like 3 years after that point, I want to join the military again. That's a different story, and there's some stuff going on in the background that y'all are going to have to stay tuned for. But the point is that I'm trying to say is that the right saint for me then, the right saint for me now, he applied to me then, he applied to me now, and as I've grown and as I've changed, not only does he still apply to me, not only have I not lost any connection, but now he connects with me more. I want to join the military, so now, of course, I'm going to look into other saints. Of course, I'm going to try to get as much graces as possible, but now, I don't need to go that far. I don't need to look that far. You know, before, Saint Philip Neri, patron of happiness, helped me to continue to be happy. Give my thanks to the Lord for allowing me to be happy, for allowing me to continue to be a light in this life for other people. And may my happy demeanor bring more people to the Lord. And now today, a patron of happiness and armed forces, I pray to the Lord that I may be given the graces to continue to be happy and to become a great soldier, and may that in the future I can use that to become a greater person individually, and then somehow use it to bring more people to the Lord. And then in the future, I don't know what I'm going to say in the future, y'all, but hopefully you get the point. Let's move on. I'm kind of out of it now, y'all. I kind of got knocked out of it, but I really hope that I made my point, y'all. Again, watch my story for all the details, but I'm really passionate about this, and I want y'all to be passionate about it too. I want y'all to have the absolute best saint for you. Let's carry on, y'all. This video is too long. Alright, y'all, so we're now in the final section of this video. I just need to give you a couple more tips, and I'll let y'all go. I know this video is long enough as it is, but I do need to give y'all just a little bit more information, and I really hope that so far I was able to already help y'all a lot. But let's keep it going. But first of all, do not start your research at the very last minute. Sounds obvious. Don't do it. Don't start your research too early though either. This might sound crazy. You might be thinking, don't we want all the time in the world? And yes, however, I say this for multiple reasons, which connects to other tips. Getting to the next tip, do not choose the very first saint that you find. This might sound obvious as well, but do not choose the very first saint that you feel a connection with, that you like this story about. Whenever you find a saint, and you may find many saints that relate to you, you might find a connection. I implore you, do not jump the gun. I want you to take that saint, put it right here for now, and keep on going, which is the next tip. Keep on going. Keep on doing your research. Even if you think you found the saint for you, keep on doing research. Even if, and only God knows this, even if you found the absolute best saint for you, keep on going. Even if the saint that you found and you put it right here is a saint that you're going to choose anyways, keep on going. Keep on researching. This connects to why you don't want to start your research too early. Now, of course, all of us are going to have different journeys and different time constraints. I had the luxury to only start 2 to 3 months prior to my set date. And again, I do recommend y'all to start just 2 to 3 months before y'all's date, but y'all's teachers, y'all's bishops and priests might desire y'all to start much earlier or lock in y'all's decision much earlier. But try to apply what I have to say to y'all's journeys, or for those of y'all who have the same luxury as I did, start 2 to 3 months prior to your date to sit down, do y'all's research. This saint looks good. I like his story. Let me put it right here. Okay, this saint, I feel a little bit of a connection. Let me put it right here. I believe it might be rare that a saint just jumps out at you the way that mine did. Connection was immediate. I do want you to keep on looking. Do not choose the very first saint that you find. Again, if you think that you might have found the right saint for you, I want you to keep on looking, keep on researching. And if you did find the right saint for you, well, he's right here for you. Just come back to it, boom, lock it in. Once again, do not start too late. Do not start too early. Do not choose the first saint that you find that speaks to you, and keep on doing research. Keep on looking for the right saint for you. And lastly, 2 reasons why I don't want you, besides the reasons that I already gave you, to start too early. I've seen this in many people's journeys where they've started years early doing research into the saint for them. 2 reasons why I'm against that, and again, I've seen it in people's stories. 1, because people started their research too early, it gets too complicated in their head. They start to overthink the saint process. For me, and I believe for the rest of y'all, it really shouldn't be that complicated. It should just be a job of, okay, this is what I want. Beep, bop, boop. All right, this is a saint. I like their story. I have a connection. Okay, this looks like a good saint. Or again, if y'all are like me and the saint is just jumping out at you, which I really do hope so, y'all are gonna feel a deep connection. And as y'all keep on reading the saint, it's gonna deepen that connection. That's what I want for y'all, and that's what I hope for. But I've seen in some people that I've helped, they've started their research way too early, and they're like, oh my gosh, so I saw this saint, and oh my gosh, I don't know which saint, like all of them look so good, I don't know. It's gonna cloud your mind too much. You're gonna see so many things, and oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. Do not start your research too early, just a couple of months before your set date, or again, before you need to lock in your answer. Sit down, be calm, do your research, find your saint, narrow down your choices, and make your choice. But again, I still say to keep on doing your research. Let's tell you the second thing before we come back to that. But the other reason that I don't want you to start your research too early is because you leave up too much time for you to change. We all grow, we all change. I want to minimize as much time as possible between choosing your saint and actually getting confirmed. It might sound like such a little amount of time to grow and change, but you'll be surprised. I've seen this in many occasions, but let me tell you one story. This girl I knew, she was getting confirmed, and she chose Saint Bernadette. I don't know fully why she chose her, but she locked in Saint Bernadette. But then she kept on looking, and she found out that no, Saint Joseph, he speaks to me more. And eventually she did choose Saint Joseph for her confirmation saint. So long story short, y'all, what I'm trying to say, in fact, let's just review it all one more time. Do not start too late. Let's have enough time to choose. Do not start too early. We're going to double back on. Do not choose the first saint that you find. Keep on doing research. Keep on looking. Keep on doing research into finding the absolute best saint for you. And once again, do not start too early. It's going to cloud your mind. It's going to confuse you into which saint to choose. This should be an easygoing process relatively. Just do your research, find a connection, feel something in you. And even if you do find the right saint for you, keep on looking, keep on searching. All right, y'all, so let me end it with this. Once again, I don't want y'all to start your research too early, but if you do, or even if you start too early or start just right, whatever that means for each of us, what I want you to do is that keep on doing research, find the right saint for you, and if you find some saints for you that kind of speak for you, keep on doing research. However, if you think that you have found the right saint for you, what I want you to do is if you have a month or 2 months prior, Again, depending on where you go, you're going to have differing amount of times. But if you do have about a month or two before you need to lock in and get confirmed, I want you to lock in your decision, step away, stop doing research, step away completely. Then right before like your teachers or whoever it is tells you to lock in your decision, I want you to go back into your research. I want you to look one more time. Look at the saint. Look at the saint that you chose. Is this the right saint for you? Then if it's still the right saint for you, then lock it in permanently. But again, I want you to minimize as much change as possible. I really hope that I said all of that as best as I can, as clearly as I can. Alright y'all, so I know this video is so long. I'm gonna let y'all go now. I really hope that y'all enjoyed today's video. I really hope that I was able to speak clearly and help y'all however I can. As I keep on saying to all of y'all on TikTok, ask and you shall receive down below. I want to help y'all however I can. If y'all want another video going more in depth, y'all got it. Comment down below. If y'all have any questions, comment down below, and I'm sure we can help multiple people, not just you. I'm sure other people have the same question. Or if you want to DM me, if you want to talk privately, of course, if you're comfortable, and because if you're not comfortable talking privately, I'm not comfortable talking privately. But the point is, ask and you shall receive down below. Comment any questions, comment any thoughts that you might have. If something was not clear, let me know. If you want more information, let me know. If you want to talk privately, let me know. We have DMs on TikTok, Instagram, and we have Discord servers linked in bio, and I'm going to try to put it down below as well. So y'all check that out. But yeah, let me just end the video, y'all. I really hope that I was able to help y'all. Please, once again, watch the previous video. You know, knowing my story, this is all going to make sense. And lastly, y'all, once again, I really hope that I was able to help y'all and that y'all have the absolute best saint and have the absolute best journey. I offer y'all my prayers and I wish you all the best. I'm really happy for everyone here who's watching this, for taking the next step in your journey. This is a wonderful journey, and I hope that I can be a part of y'all's journey somehow by helping y'all. And whenever y'all do get confirmed, y'all let me know down below or anywhere. Y'all tell me y'all's stories. Y'all tell me how y'all feel. Y'all tell me if I helped y'all. Y'all tell me if y'all have already confirmed. Just let me know everything about y'all's journeys. Let me know how y'all feel. All of that, y'all. But with that being said, I love you all so much, Crusaders. Goodbye, good day, God bless, peace. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.